What's going on, everyone? Before we jump into this episode, we're going to be giving you 8 essential tips of the ultra fit. So if you want to be that person that everyone's looking at the gym, everyone wants to be, that's just super strong, looks good, has it all together, they're smiling, they're loving the process, these tips are for you. Whether you're brand new to our podcast, you've never stepped foot in the gym, or you're an expert who's been lifting for 10, 20, 30 years, these tips are essential. And there's a good chance you're really focused on some of them, you're ignoring some of the others. So today's going to be a great reminder. Listen to it, take it to heart, really reflect if there's something you're really not doing the best that you know you can improve on. Call yourself out on it, make a plan to get better, because we want you to get better results faster. And if you're tired of having an average body and you want to see guaranteed change, I'm going to give you the opportunity by reaching out to work with myself or Kyle personally. All you need to do is DM us on Instagram with the keyword level up if you are sick of having an average body and you want to really build something you can be proud of, see progress, have extra energy, put on more muscle, and lose unwanted fat. This is for you. So once again, just DM us on our Instagram, which is at colossusfit, COLOSSUSFIT, with the keyword level up for a special opportunity to work with us one-on-one in our coaching program where we guarantee you your results. But now, without further ado, let's jump into this incredible episode. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Fit, Healthy, and most of all, Happy podcast. As always, I'm your coach and host, Josh, here with
his co-host and co-coach, KG, and I'm in the house.
KG in the hizzy. It's funny how I love getting DMs from people and everyone will say, "What's up, KG in the house?" And I'll read up like, "Oh, it's Josh." But I love how that has been such a standstill. So if you've been listening to us forever, there's been so many fun iterations of that, and we always love spicing it up. And if you're new here too, we're really inspired because we have a lot of new listeners, we have a lot of returning listeners, and it's fall. It's like not spring cleanup, it's kind of fall cleanup, back into routine. People are taking the kids back to school. Maybe you're back to school, maybe you're off vacation, closing the cottage, whatever it is, getting back to the gym. We want to just create a little friendly reminder of 8 essential habits of ultra fit people. And like I said in our intro here, it's just so easy to neglect 1 or 2 of these. But if you do that, you're going to end up really shooting yourself in the foot and really stagnating your progress. It's like having a car. You go, you take it in, you get it fixed up all nice, you do everything perfect, oil change, put on new tires, new rims, but you don't gas it up. You're going to go nowhere. And your journey is so much like this. Oftentimes, there's that one big blind spot in our journey that's holding us back from incredible progress. So listen to this episode, be honest with yourself, find that position where you can improve, implement it, and let's all grow together, because that's our mission and that's what we want to achieve. But I'm going to start it off with my first tip, which is to look at your entire journey. So it's real easy to be super zoomed in on the day and say, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to kill it today, I'm going to take no prisoners, those weights are going to get destroyed, they're going to be punished, I'm going to be absolutely bending the dumbbells in half with how much weights I live, I'm going to be screaming all this stuff. And people do that. They get fired up, they get charged up, they crush a workout, and that's it, but they have no grand plan. Really say, what are your goals? What are you looking to achieve? Where do you want to be by the end of the year? Have you progressed throughout this summer, or have you lost? Have you regressed? Are you actually in a worse place? Because you got to be honest and you got to address that and understand why, and therefore implement the changes necessary to make sure you are progressing. You want to be your best self. Don't count yourself out. It's easy to make excuses. I was busy, I had a kid, I had a wedding, I'm in school, I'm going to do it later. No, that's not what we need here. What you need to do is be honest with yourself and say, how can I improve? How can I really take my situation by the horns and implement the necessary change? And that's where I'm a big believer in just zooming out and set that goal. Like, say, what is your ultimate goal? What do you want to achieve? Whether it's abs, whether you want a really good beach body, if you want to hit some big PRs, and kind of create from that goal. So when we can zoom out, create a really big goal, we can kind of create micro goals in it, and we can start with maybe ultimate goal, then you can make a 1-year goal, a month goal, and then you can really derive the necessary action now. Whether it's starting a cut, starting a bulk, whether it's doing a little bit of a reverse diet because you've been dieting too long, you want to put on muscle and strength, getting a coach, being in the strength phase. This is where you can take the action to actively change your plan. And we've spoke about it before. If you're new here, we love the stool analogy, and this is like the key to all progress. So if you think of a 3-legged stool and it's on the ground, you could sit on it, you could stand on it, you could do whatever you want. That stool is solid. You got 3 legs to it. Now, fitness, nutrition, health, happiness, this whole picture is very much a 3-legged stool. So you have your training, you have your nutrition, as well as you have your kind of game plan, accountability, external factors. This one's kind of grouped with a lot of things, but this could be stress, sleep, planning, all these different things. Because if you take any one of these legs out and you try to go on that stool, you could sit on it, be a little awkward, it'd be uncomfortable, you'd have to support yourself with your legs. If you stood on it, you'd fall on your face. And if you take out two of those legs, you're going to absolutely eat it. That stool is not going to stay up no matter what you do. And fitness and nutrition and in general is just like this. If you're someone who just works out hard, but you have horrible nutrition, you don't take care of yourself, your sleep is bad, you're just stressed beyond belief, you're not going to get very far. It's not going to look good. It's going to be discouraging, and you're really going to be spinning your tires. But if you have two things going, which most people do, maybe you really have incredible nutrition, you get great sleep, you're not overly stressed, you love your life, but you don't train, your composition is not going to change. You're going to have no muscle. You're going to be flabby. You're not going to really look the best. You're going to be in that skinny fat position. Or maybe you train really hard, your nutrition's good, but that all falls off on the weekend. You go off the deep end, stay up way too late, you just binge drink, you do all these things, you overeat, and you just undo a week's worth of progress, and you're just continually in this continuum of feeling horrible, not being where you want to be, and wondering why you're not progressing. It's because you're not looking at this full factor. You need a plan. You need to take care of yourself. You need nutrition. You need your training. And you may say, well, this is insane. How can I do all these things? And it's not about being perfect with them. It's about being attentive to them and optimizing them for what's necessary to you. Some people will train insanely hard, 90 minutes, 6 days a week, and they can withstand that. Some people can get great progress doing 3 upper body days, building a really awesome body and working within their schedule. And now with the next few tips, we're going to get into the subgroups of this. So for the next one is really just, I guess Kyle will take it away with workout routine.
Yeah, and just honestly having a solid workout routine and keeping track of it, like it kind of sounds obvious, and I think mainly it's because that's what Josh and I do is we follow a solid custom workout routine we've created, as well as for every single one of our clients, they're following something that is just created for them. And I always thinking like, I think everyone just does it. And then I have a conversation with lots of people in the DMs, lots of people who sign up with us who haven't been following anything, lots of people around me in the gym. And I realize like, I don't know the exact percentage, but I'd say a very, very small percentage of people just aren't really following anything. And the issue with that is you only do stuff when you feel like it. You know, it's very easy to take shortcuts when you don't have a plan in front of you. It's very easy to only do things that you really enjoy and not really do the things that are actually difficult. And that's the best part about an actual plan is it'll force you essentially to do the stuff that's really good for you. You may not love all of it, but it's going to get you progress. It's going to get you to, start to lift heavier, to strength train, and just develop your overall physique. And a part 2 of this is just actually keeping track of this. Like, for the people that do follow a workout program, that's awesome. But when you actually keep track of the weights, the sets you've done, the reps, maybe where you ran a bit short and you have to kind of improve next time, you start to improve so much more, and you can use whatever it is that helps you. There's lots of great free apps between Rep Count. I know a lot of people love Strong, which is an awesome app. You can use a notepad. For some of our awesome clients, we have different Excel spreadsheets that utilize that portion where you can put your weights used as well as your rep sets, all that great stuff. But as long as you can look back on the data, and when you go to that next time, you can look back and just be like, oh, you know what? I use 80 pounds. I gotta stop slacking. I'm gonna improve this next time. It gives you more data to monitor, and this is what's going to get you to that next level and get you some incredible results.
Yeah, like it sounds so obvious, and you might say, well, I work out hard, but another example of this is like you can work out hard but get nowhere. Like if you're just pushing like a ball up a hill and it just keeps rolling down. Like you can work as hard as you want, but you're not doing something efficiently. And an example of this is actually just doing random workouts. People will go, they'll just pick things, they'll do a lackluster, and they actually won't be improving within that routine, or they'll have a routine that they're following that someone else made that doesn't actually address them. So I've used the example before, but if you already naturally have really big biceps and you're following someone's routine who has these little noodle arms and all they do is arm days like 5 days a week, meanwhile you have no leg development, you're just going to end up overdeveloping a muscle and creating more of a discrepancy. And you're going to be like, why aren't I looking good? I'm doing this routine that this person said is amazing. That's because you need a routine made for you. You need something custom for you that actually is going to help you develop. And there's actually phases to your expertise in the gym of what you should be doing. Like a lot of people, I believe, make the mistake of just going in, jumping right into very advanced movements without learning basics, and they'll actually end up doing more harm than good, because that's where you can end up hurting your shoulder. That's where you can end up not actually learning how the proper hip hinge squat motions work, how you can develop actually worse just inefficiencies. And really having a strong routine is so important. That's why we do custom programming for all of our clients, and we work off of their photos and then really develop what they need from that. And if you're right now, you're not on a good routine, that's something you need to fix ASAP. If you've been doing the same routine for like a year, you need to fix that ASAP as well. There's a lot within here, and you also need to really make sure you're pushing yourself in that gym time, that you are actively getting stronger. You getting stronger will help you put on more muscle and therefore change your body composition. Now for number 2, or number 3 in this case, nutrition. So the big thing with nutrition, and my biggest takeaway that I'll leave you with, is make sure you're aware of your protein. You know your protein requirements, you're meeting them, because that's actively going to help you feel more satisfied within the day. So that's going to help you eat less calories. It's going to help you put on more muscle. That's also just going to help you maintain more muscle within a deficit, and it's just going to regulate everything. I find protein, usually when you fix that, it fixes most of the issues. I also really recommend you're aware of what you need for your calories, that you know kind of your base amount. So if your correct amount of calories, if you're just looking to maintain your maintenance calories, and then you're able to manipulate that number to actually go in whichever phase you want, whether it be a lean bulk, which would be a slight surplus, whether you want it to be an aggressive bulk, a little slow cut, or more aggressive cut. And you need to do what's right for you, because if you go about it the wrong way, you can end up losing a lot of muscle, or putting on a lot of fat, or really just doing a lot of nothing. So you really need to make sure you have the right nutritional protocol to support your goals, and also that you have balance. You want to make sure you are eating good foods. You don't want to just eat garbage, because it's going to be hard to get really motivated off of garbage. And like I said, you're going to feel more like lethargy. You could have less energy. You could be deficient on certain nutrients. So really make a habit to eat 80% good quality foods. 20% you can still have your fun things, you can still have a social life, you can still go out. And that's my point. Will someone see better results if they're eating like 100% the best stuff? Likely, as long as they can adhere to that. But a lot of people, usually when they do that, they'll end up going off the deep end. But also for you, if right now you're maybe 20% healthy, 80% unhealthy, even if you can get to that 50-50, you're already fixing your stool, you're repairing that leg, and you're getting more balance, and you're crafting out that starting position for you to see more success in your journey. So you just need to address your deficiencies, and it can be really hard if you're someone who eats nothing clean, you haven't had a vegetable in a year. That might be a big process and a big change for you, but take baby steps, start introducing it, get better, improve it, and just go at your rate, because sometimes, you don't want to go 0 to 100 real quick, as they say, because that can also be discouraging. It can be unsustainable. But as you begin to increase that and improve your position and be more attentive to what you're lacking, it gives you more opportunity to see more success in your journey.
Absolutely. And number 4 is just going to be having a solid game plan, as well as just like new goals, new challenges. And there's a big difference between someone going into the week saying, hey, I'm trying to get some more movement in, and then like someone else who says, hey, I've got 4 to 5 workouts scheduled. Here's what my routine looks like. And this is going to like bring everything full circle, by the way, like everything Josh has mentioned, everything I've mentioned, just having those specifics. Got my 4 workouts. I've got my nutritional parameters between 15 to 1800 calories. I'm going to do 3 cardio sessions a week. Like you have everything kind of more or less laid out. It's easier to stay on track. You go into the week being very prepared. You have a game plan. You know what you need to stick to. And that's where on the other side, a lot of times people just be like, well, I'm trying to be a bit healthier, or trying to move a bit more. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be healthier and just trying to increase your movement, but it's just not very specific. It's not very motivating. You're just not really, you don't have the game plan. You don't have the specifics. And even for myself and even our most successful clients, the ones that are like pushing to that next level, giving yourself these new challenges, these new things to kind of look forward to definitely keeps it exciting. It's very easy just to kind of fall off and to not enjoy it. Not to say that you need to enjoy every single part of the journey, but when you have these things that you look forward to, whether it's special events, whether it's special challenges, like different competitions, even if you're competitive or not, I do believe this gives you an extra little bit of fire under your butt to keep pushing, to keep striving for more, to stay accountable, to get to that next level and be ultra fit and just be fit for life. So that's going to be number 4, and hopefully that helps.
Yeah, this is the big one too, because if you don't have where you're going in your GPS, you're never going to get there. You can just drive around. It's going to take an insane amount of time. Like, as silly as it sounds, take time to think about it, whip out a notebook, just spend some time thinking, like, doing this simple thing will help you get so much further. And you can even be very real about it this way. And you can say, what events do I have coming up? How can I build these phases? And once again, these are things we will actively help you with as coaches, which is just an absolute amazing feeling to kind of put some of that aside, because it's just so easy to be in your own lens, to have ridiculous time frames, to be discouraged by them, to not know what to do in unique situations and variables that will arise. And these are all things we'd be happy to help you with. And once again, if you're tired of having an average physique and you really just want to have something you can be proud of, be at a point of a fitness level you can be proud of, and learn the tools to do this for the rest of your life at a deeper level, message us on Instagram. Take that step. Message us with that keyword level up, because we will guarantee this change, and this will be the best thing you've seen. And you've seen all the transformations on our page. These are people that took this leap, that made that change. So if you're serious about it, I just want to ask you, why not? Why not you? Because you deserve it as well. And for number 5, which I think is the perfect segue, is to have accountability. I think the coach is the number one best thing. We've been personal trainers. We're still online coaches. There's a reason we don't do personal training anymore. Having someone to see that entire field, to look at your data, to look at the week, to be on your team is just so valuable. It's something you definitely want to take advantage of. And if you're not able to do that right now and it's something you're looking to do later, I would still recommend even having an accountability partner of like a friend, of a family member, of a workout buddy, whatever it may be. Have someone there who's going to push you and who's going to hold you accountable to your goals and say, hey, I haven't seen you in the gym for a week. What's going on? Because it's a lot more motivating when it's not just yourself. It's easy for you to just quit, but when other people know it, you announce your goals, that goes such a long way. And even if you don't have someone who will be accountable or understands your lifestyle, announce your goals to people. Say you're doing this deficit and you're trying to lose 20 pounds, you want to put on muscle. And then when you're out, people will go, no dessert for you. And like, it'll be someone kind of on your side in a way. So accountability goes such a long way. Another example of this though is even listen to this podcast. Twice a week, you're getting free quality coaching from me and Kyle effectively over this podcast. You're getting inspiration, you're getting hope, you're getting someone enabling you to think you can do this, that you can look past the obstacles, that you can think bigger. So that's really valuable as well. Like, have things around you that are going to help you develop. And that's also number 6, which is continual learning. So listening to podcasts, doing research, and learning from the right sources. Be careful, because there's a lot of gimmicky stuff out there that's going to lead you on the wrong direction. I promise you, the big picture stuff is what you need to focus on. You don't need someone's waist trainer or their sketchy supplement or their unique hack. Hacks are good too, but really make sure you have those fundamentals, and the more you can deepen your learning, the better. And that's where by having a coach, you can avoid actually learning wrong and doing things just really incorrectly and end up wasting your time. And you can learn the optimal way to approach everything so you can get those results better. And it's going to save you just hundreds and hundred hours of researching and doing things wrong and looking silly, because you can go into it with the utmost confidence, knowing you have an expert on your side who's going to ensure your success.
Yeah, and that's something I think people struggle with, because, let's say you start to see great results from, year 1 to year 2, you unfortunately can't continue to do the exact same thing. Like, things change in terms of just how your body adapts, in terms of how long you've been training, just switching up these workouts. So like over time, like, not saying you need to change everything, but like what you used to do isn't always going to essentially work. And that's where just having that continuous learning, that just continuous next level, trying some new movements, trying to like get to that next level, like different types of nutritional protocols that we incorporate. Like, learning a lot will help you so much, because you realize you don't know a whole lot, but then you just end up getting to that next level because you have a lot more different things to try. And anyway, so I think that was absolutely phenomenal. But that's going to bring me into number 7, which is just developing habits that make it easier to stay accountable to your goals. So even in Atomic Habits, one of the greatest habit forming book, his biggest tip, or one of his biggest tips, is just find ways to make a habit easier, whether that's ordering meal prep delivery service right to your door. That's one small example. Maybe as soon as you go to the washroom, you have your scale between your bedroom and the washroom. The scale's there. It's a great reminder every morning. I've got to weigh in. So when you can start thinking about how to make these habits easier, so you don't even have to think about it, because it gets challenging when you have to incorporate a bunch of different things. But when it gets to a point where it's second nature, you don't think about it. Even for us, when it comes to logging, when it comes to hitting protein, a lot of people who are just trying to develop these habits, of course, it is very challenging. But because we've incorporated ways to find just make it fit, to make it easy, you don't really think about it. Like I'm not sitting there each day thinking, man, how do I get 170 grams of protein? Like I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's just I wake up, the Greek yogurt's ready to go. It's there, and as soon as I open the fridge, like you create these habits that make it so easy to follow. You don't have to second guess it. It doesn't take much time. It doesn't take much willpower, and definitely incorporate this, and it'll help you out for sure.
And then last but not least, don't be all or nothing. Understand there will be ups and downs in your journey. There'll be times you're more motivated, times when you're not. Like Kyle said, lean into those habits, make it easier on yourself, and just keep with it. You can't beat that person who just keeps showing up, who keeps on the journey, and who continues to aspire to those goals. And sometimes you got to readjust those time frames. Sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes you progress faster than you thought, and you're seeing insane progress. We have a lot of clients who are like, I've achieved my transformation so fast. What now? And they'll realize what they're capable of doing, and you'll have to set bigger, badder, more exciting new goals. Like there's a lot of different opportunity there, but don't be all or nothing. Don't quit on yourself when it gets hard. Don't quit on yourself if you mess up. Just keep getting up, and you cannot fail. But really be mindful of these things. You do them, I promise you, you will be that ultra fit person, or you'll become that person faster than you think. So thank you so much for tuning in today. We really do hope you enjoyed this. And once again, if you're sick of having an average physique and you want to level up and become a fitter, healthier, and happier, better version of yourself, go ahead, send us that message on Instagram saying level up. That'll be the best decision you can make for your transformation, for your fitness, for your health and happiness, because together we cannot fail.